Hello, something guys and gals. This is something guy 912 here with something entirely different from my usual sorted affair. So, I've noticed that in the span of covering video games from top to bottom, that one aspect about it is either not discussed or only mentioned in terms of level design. Architecture. How buildings look and feel in comparison to our own real world designs, and how much a game is willing to contort to those standards. A lot of games usually don't, as gameplay is usually the necessity far beyond the practicality of a building that either has no structural integrity or impractical rooms or windows for the player to traverse. While I understand that conceits need to be made in order for the gameplay to surpass above all, this mini series that I call it is an opportunity for me to be as nitpicky as possible about how a game world is designed with gameplay over realism. And what better place to start but with Valve's most beloved franchise, Half-Life 2, and the first level that starts the game off, D1 underscore train station underscore 01. This is something I want to belabor over with the subsequent levels after this, as not every map in this campaign is created with gameplay over realism in mind. And it's interesting to say the least how the philosophy with each map changes as we progress through them. So, with that, we can start to tackle the map. I should mention one more thing before we do. I'll have some notes saved in regards to what I found curious about this map as I explore it using Gary's mod, as opposed to the base game, as no clipping will be pivotal to what inconsistencies I may discover, and I can also do so conflict free. This will also be recorded with headset audio, so my voice may sound different or worse than normal. Alright guys, and now we moved from the initial recording to the gameplay. So, I had skipped the initial, intro sequence, and we're gonna clip out from the train here to check out the railway. Now, from what I could tell so far, there doesn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary here. Looks pretty airtight. I should clarify, I'm not a master architect. I don't have a PhD or associate's or bachelor's degree or anything like that. So it's kind of hard to tell whether any of this looks particularly odd, but doesn't seem to be any blatant clipping of like the wires to the trainway. So it seems pretty airtight here. Although, keep this area in note because this might be important for a section in the game later that I want to bring up. Anyhow, let's go over back here. And as you can notice, a lot of fencing lines, almost inexplicably. Now here, it might actually make a lot of sense for there to be a fence line since this is like I think like a control dock area for conductors, I think, or tram lines. I'm not exactly certain. Or like right here, in this corner where you see the border gaunt. Although, again, these fences are usually, put around for gameplay concessions so that, you keep the player, on a particular path. You'll hear the word a lot with Half-Life games, serpentining, where you just kind of go along this like singular kind of path, like the game kind of guides you along, and also see that little sequence with the combine and the civilian. So going through this, so there's these I think these are concession booths because it has like the I don't know what you call this, like a roof or garage door thing, but if we clip in, as you can see from this wall to here, not a lot of space. So I'm not sure if there would be a believable amount of space for somebody to operate here, and whatnot. So going forward, we have this peculiar red and white block object thing. My best guess is this is probably like a newsstand, a phone booth, or some kind of kiosk, but obviously it's not really being in use right now because of the Combine's infiltration. So obviously it's not really, it's just kind of just here just to give you the sense of, well, make this area not so spacious, but also just to give you the sense of the state of things, the degradation and whatnot. And going over here, once again, we have a inexplicable
array of fencing, although narratively this actually makes a lot of sense to give you, again, a perspective of the Combine's hold on, human life, like, as though they're going through like rats in a maze, as it were, especially with these two people commenting on what's going on here. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so like that. So going along, so we just wait in line. There will be something else I want to bring up here in a moment once this person gets out of the way. I mean, I could clip through them, but I don't want to necessarily break the sequence, but whatever. So this Civil Protection Officer is supposedly do you mind, buddy? So this Civil Protection Officer is blocking the plaza exit, but if we clip through, as you can tell, complete dead end, like nothing's here. Although, of course, you're not supposed to see that. And I don't even think from anywhere on this map, without using no clip, could you even know for certain that that was completely nothing. And obviously, you're supposed to go this way. Now, before we triggered the sequence for Barney, I was a little bit curious if the railway here, these rails to these Combine trains, were going to hit perpendicular to the train that you just got off. But as it turns out, they are actually parallel to one another, so that is not actually an issue at all. These will be brought up again in a moment, but anyhow, let's trigger Barney. So we're going to go through the security hall here, and there is something I want to bring up in a moment. So we all know this little thing. Now what is interesting, as you could kind of tell, is if we no clip through here, there's a HEV charger, inexplicably. I don't know why this is here, other than just for you to see it out of the corner of your eye and be like, ooh, what the hell is this? Ooh, I wonder. Because, obviously you don't have the HEV suit at this point of the campaign, and even if you did, you wouldn't have been able to even get here in the first place. So I don't know why this is here, and not to mention the fact that it's just completely free-floating at the wall. And then there's this door here. We'll bring this up again in a moment, but let's go through here. And then, they're going to go through their dialogue. Wait, what? Oh, I must have broken the sequence. Anyhow, so there's this, I noticed. So there's this wall with, height markings. This is usually used for mugshots, although the problem is if this is supposed to be used to take a photo, this chair is in the way, so I'm not sure how you'd be able to get a clear shot. Other than if you were, like, right here and took a picture of somebody right against the wall like that. So I'm not sure why that was there. Why they put that there as opposed to, like, right here, or even... I guess there's not really anywhere else they could put it. So they're going to mouth off each other. We're just going to go back here, because we're going to have to go back there anyway. So there's these double doors here that you can't get into, but if we no-clip, as you can tell, they lead directly to the front part of these Combine trains. But there is no doors on the other side of this thing, so this would lead to either a really tight alleyway that goes around here, or to nothing, and most likely it's nothing. And as for this little supply closet, I'm not even certain what the purpose of this is. I mean, there's crates here, and there's a bunch of luggage. Although, given the bloody nature of the chair, maybe this is where they just stuff away a bunch of civilian luggage, after they, rough them up a little bit, because they clearly aren't really welcome here. They're kind of there against their will. So I'll go through the section of, jumping over into the window, into this alleyway. Crash down. Ooh, ouch. Ooh, my legs. And this is also a very strange thing. I'm not sure what the deal, what the purpose of this little alcove or alleyway is, other than to just drink beer, I guess. Oh, whoops, I actually took a screenshot. I forgot the left click on the camera is the same button to take a screenshot, but regardless, yeah, just a bunch of beer and bottles, and then we are about to near the area before the sequence change. Obviously, I have to go through the loading screen just for a brief moment. We'll cover the next map in another video, but I just want to get this out of the way because there is. Oh wait, hold up. I gotta load back to the previous area because I accidentally. Hold up, let me Well, okay. It's not loading in. So what I was going to point out is, you remember the interrogation hallway, right? There was a door here that would lead directly into the side of this wall, or there's like a small room before it heads to this side of the wall. Now, that door could just lead to another little tiny interrogation room for all I know, but if it doesn't, then it doesn't really make sense for for that door to be there. And then finally, in this section, there is this locked off room. I don't know if this is supposed to be some small office or whatnot. I'm not sure what tangibility it has in relation to the alcove or alleyway here. It's a little bit inexplicable. I'm not sure how this ties in, but that is about it.
And that was that for that level. Surprisingly, not much to say about it, as it's relatively in line with what you expect from a train station, given 2004 standards of technology at the time. As I said, not every map has nearly the same architectural problems as another, but best believe me when I cover some of the root canal maps that there will be much more to point out. I hope you enjoyed this little venture, as I also want to cover some of the Team Fortress 2 maps as well in future.